The dwarven party member suddenly turns from the cave wall they were examining. We need to get out of here. This place isn't cursed, it's radioactive. Radioactive, the wizard sounded out, trying to piece together the meaning of the term from its root words. You mean, there is some kind of energy in the rocks? Aye, and it's doing a strange kind of damage to us. Something we dwarves haven't quite figured out completely yet. The cleric raised his holy staff. I could always. Nay. The dwarf quickly swatted down his staff. Whatever you do, do not, under any circumstances, cast any healing magic on anyone in this party for at least a month. Longer, if you can help it. I've seen healing magic do strange, incomprehensible things to folks affected by radiation. Teeth and hair growing in places they shouldn't, things like that. It's almost like the energies affect the way your body thinks it should look, and confuses the healing magic. What do we do? The wizard asked. We leave, as quickly as possible. Come on, if we're lucky, short-term exposure isn't so bad. The longer we stay here, the worse it gets. On their way out, the party bumped into another band of adventurers. Lads, I see you don't have a dwarf with you. Word of warning, the rocks and the walls here have strange energies in them. You don't want any part of this. Turn around and leave, like we're doing. They fear the curse. Their fighter laughed. Not to worry, little one, we've braved worse than this. Come on, fellows, glory awaits. Some folks, they can't be helped, the dwarf sighed. I don't know, those adventurers looked pretty experienced. Their sorcerer commented, as they made their way down the tunnels. And their dwarf seemed to know what he was talking about. He tapped the rock walls with his wand. It seemed like any other rock. But he had to admit to himself, all rocks looked pretty much the same to him. Don't let the superstitious dwarf scare you, their fighter replied. Look at our equipment, man. We're warded against fire, ice, necromancy, there's nothing that can hurt us worse than a sword or a mace. And if we pick up a curse, well, the legends say there's more than enough gold down here to pay for removal. We've been taking a lot of turns, the thief noted. A lot of turns. I think this place is designed like a labyrinth. Only one path, but it winds around as much as possible, covering the longest possible path through the area. I've never seen a dungeon designed like this before. Unnerving you? Probably designed like that on purpose, the fighter guessed, although he was starting to feel a bit creeped out himself. Probably just trying to throw us off our edge before we get to the evil cleric who owns this place. I'm sure that's it. After what seemed like hours, they finally reached a sturdy door that looked like it was protecting a treasure room of some kind. There we go, every maze has an exit somewhere, right? Get ready, I'm kicking the door in on 3. The dark cleric lounged in his throne, not bothering to get up, as the party burst into his chamber. Ah, another adventuring party. Come armed to fight a spellcaster, I presume? Of course, the fighter replied. We're warded against any kind of damage you can throw at us. Fire, lightning, you name it, we're protected from it. The cleric merely grinned and brandished his unholy symbol. Nobody ever thinks to protect themselves from healing magic. Not that the cleric properly understood what was happening, of course, the concept of DNA and radiation damage was unknown in the medieval setting. What he cared about were the results, as the party's bodies began rapidly growing hideous tumors.